Hello everyone. Hope you all understand the first one lesson of the math. From today's class we are going to start our second lesson and this lesson name is Roman numerals. What is Roman numerals and who invented this? Roman numbers invented Romans. Okay. These are not as simple as Hindu Arabic numerals. This one little bit confused and little bit difficult to understand. Let us see what is Roman numbers. From English, there are 7 letters used for the Roman numbers. Which are letters? I, V, X, L, C, D, M. These 7 letters used to form a Roman numbers. Let us see the letter I. Capital letter I represent as a Hindu Arabic number 1. Capital I represent number 1. Capital V. Capital V represent as a 5. Capital letter V is represented as a 5. Then capital letter X. Capital letter X represent as a number 10. Next one, capital letter L. Capital letter L represent as a 50. Capital letter L represent as a 50. Next, capital letter C represented as a 100. Next, capital letter D. Capital letter D represent as a 500. And last one, letter number 7, capital M. Capital M is represented as a 1000. These 7 capital letters from English language represent as this Hindu Arabic number. From these all alphabets we form a Roman numbers. So students, these charts you will write in your notebook and remember it. Okay. Let's understand some rules to build a Roman numbers. These all are rules to build a Roman numbers. First one rules. Symbols I and X can be repeated maximum 3 times to form a number. Symbol I and X can be repeated maximum 3 times. To build a Roman numbers, we will write I and X maximum for only 3 times. An example is, suppose I is represented 1. I and this one I means 2I. Double I represent as a 2. First one I for 1 and second one I for also 1 means I plus I is equal to 2. Next one I means I is for 3 times means I plus I. I is represented as 1 means 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. Rule number 2. There is no concept of place value system in Roman numeral system. There is no concept of place value system in the Roman numerals. Okay. Question. Rule number 3. Symbols V, L and D cannot be repeated. Only repeat the symbol I and X. Only for 3 times. Not for above. Only repeated for 3 times. Which symbol? Only I and X. But symbol V, L and D cannot be repeated. It's only for 1 time. Rule number 4. A symbol of smaller value before a symbol of greater value means subtract smaller from greater. Suppose example is IV. I is represented as 1 and V is represented as 5 means symbol of smaller value is just before the symbol of greater value. I is smaller and V is greater means a symbol of smaller value before a symbol of greater value, means subtract smaller from greater. For that time, when smaller value is just before the greater value, we simply subtract smaller value from greater value, means this one is the greater value and this one is the smaller value. Just simply the subtract smaller value from greater value, means 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. And like that, second one example, ix. I is smaller and x is greater. I is 1. I is represented as 1 and x is represented as 10, means smaller value is just before the greater value. As means 10 minus 1. We subtract smaller value from greater value is equal to 9. Means ix is represented as 9. Rule number 5. A symbol of smaller value after a symbol of greater value, means add smaller to greater. In rule number 4, a symbol of smaller value just before the symbol of greater value. That time we simply subtract the smaller number from greater number. In rule number 5, in just a symbol of smaller value just after the symbol of greater value, means take one example, vi. V is represented as 5 and I is represented as I, means the value of 1 is just before the 5, means smaller number is after the greater number. For that time, just simply the smaller value add in greater value. As means V is 5 and I is 1, just simply 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. For that time, simply add a smaller number in greater number. Take second one example, xi. X is greater value and I is smaller value. Just simply add a smaller value in greater value, means 10 plus 1 is equal to 11. So students, understand these all rules. Understand these all rules, and in next period we build a Roman numbers up to 39. So up to that, write first one chart. Write in your notebook this one chart for 2 times. Write this chart in your notebook for two times and remember it. Also write the rules given on page number 83 and page number 84 in your maths notebook. Okay? If any queries, ask me, call me. Thank you. Take care.